So I feel like my garden is a disaster right now. It's not really, but I have one big project that is 75% complete, which was taking up all of the grass along the fence line. It was coming up through the, sorry, I'm having my breakfast. It was coming up through the weed cloth that I had down and all of the wood chips. So I pulled up the weed cloth. I dug up all of the grass as much as I could. It's a Bermuda type grass, so it has the rhizomes and it just spreads everywhere. Put that layer of weed fabric back and then put another layer of weed fabric on top of that. And now I just need to put all of the bags back in place, the grow bags that I have against the fence, and cover it with wood chips. So right now I've kind of got some piles of wood chips that I pulled back away from where I pulled everything up, and most of my bags are still out, so I still need to put them all back. And I feel like once that is done, I'll feel much better about things. But like my second arbor is laying on its side right now because I needed to move that out of the way. And then I still have a ton of plants to plant. A lot of them are to go in those grow bags, which is why I haven't done them yet. But so my goal today is to get all of the grow bags back in place. I do want to fill a few more. And then I need to get my pumpkins planted, and I would like to get all of these grow bags planted before it gets too hot out here. It's like, I don't know, 9:30-ish right now. And by 1 o'clock, it's supposed to be 75, which doesn't sound very hot, but because we're at 5,000 feet, the sun is brutal here. Like, if there's no shade, it's really freaking hot at 75 degrees. Or I'm just a wimp. That could totally be the case as well. Anyway, so that is the plan for today, this morning. Tonight, I will come back out when it cools down and kind of get finished whatever I didn't get finished planting. But I do have also all of my stuff now for the irrigation to swap out into the drip tubes. I've done a few of the beds, but I still need to do the majority of them. So I would like to get that done today as well. And I still have so many other projects to get done. But I will get to them. I'm just trying to give myself some grace because, of course, I always take on way more than I can actually do. And Petunia, as usual, is going to be super helpful. Hi, baby. Huh. Yeah. All right. Let me finish my breakfast and then we'll get to work. let me tell you, having this pergola with the shade pulled with seating, I love this. It is so nice to be able to take a break and sit down in between jobs and get a little respite from the sun. It makes this garden even more pleasant than it already was. All right, so that first project is done. I even put the arbor back up, but we have all of the bags back in place. I need to get water to some of them that are new, and I need to put compost in them. And then I want to put a couple more bags in this area as well. And then, of course, I also need to cover it with wood chips, but that is going to be a project for another day, long after everything else in the garden is done. Can we just sit and listen to the fountain for a second too? Hopefully my noise canceling microphone isn't canceling the sound of it. Anyway, so let's get pumpkins planted. I think that is a good next step. I wrote down in my little notebook here where each of the pumpkins go, those X's. Some of them probably are not going to go there because there are other things there that I didn't realize, like perennial stuff that came back, like these two massive yarrow plants here, that one and that one. I'd planned to put pumpkins there. So I'm going to put pumpkins in that bed somewhere. I just am not sure exactly where yet. So I'll figure that out. And then some of the corners of the beds have sunflowers in them. I am going to pull some of the sunflowers still because there's too many in some of these beds and they're going to take over. So, but let's go ahead and get started with pumpkins. Also, some of the pumpkins are not fully up yet. So I think I'm probably going to leave them until they are. So you can see these guys, which are my Jack B. Littles, are just now popping up. So everything else, though, is up enough that I'm going to go ahead and get them transplanted. Actually, before I get too far, I did not put tags in any of these when I planted them and I seeded them. Instead, I made a little diagram right here. I made this one as well, which were all my sunflowers. And then I put them outside and left the dome on them and fried them all. They were all starting to come up and yeah, not a single one of them survived. So that's fine. But I do have all of my cucumbers, and I put a tag at one end so I knew which end was which. So I'm going to write out all of the tags right now so they are ready to go. All right, so I have got Baby Boo, which is a little white decorative pumpkin. I have Long Island Cheese, which is, I'll put pictures up of what they are. I can't remember what it looks like, but it's a eating pumpkin. This is Musqué de Provence, and this is a really deeply grooved pumpkin and kind of a creamy orange color. These are Jarrahdale. I think that's how it's pronounced. And they're like a gray pumpkin, and they also are a good eating pumpkin. Like I said, these ones that are just coming up are my Jack B. Little, which is a little orange decorative pumpkin, as are Baby Bear, which are these four. These are Valenciano, which are white. And then I have one State Fair, which is supposed to get giant, and then two Dills Atlantic, which are also a giant type pumpkin. So I'm super excited to see these are getting in the ground much earlier this year, and hopefully we won't have a frost at the end of June like we have for the last 2 years. But if we do, I will be covering them. But they're all looking really good, and I'm excited to get them in the ground. Let's do it. These are definitely going to be tight in some of these beds, but that's okay. Actually, I should put one here instead of there. Let me rethink now. Well, apparently I had a marigold here that did not survive. It's fine. I have a lovely nasturtium instead, and now we're going to put a I want to disturb their roots as little as possible. I did a Dills and a Dills, and then a Valenciano here. So this is my Three Sisters bed. It is doing pretty well, but for some reason, this early golden bantam corn didn't come up very well. Like this row right here only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This row only has 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm tempted. This one came up okay. I'm missing like 2 right here. But I'm tempted to add in these guys. This is called Early Sun Glow. And I mean, they'll cross-pollinate, but I don't think that's a problem. Not for these types. I mean, they were going to cross-pollinate anyway with the other type that's in this bed, which is called Peaches and Cream. So what do we think? Should we put some seeds in? These are only 62 days. And I don't remember what these guys were. Because that would be the other problem, is I'm not going to be planting very many of them. So, but you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to plan to get corn out of them necessarily. But I want the corn to be there for these guys to climb and the beans to climb. Or not these guys, for the beans to climb. So we're just gonna do it. Otherwise though, I'm super pleased with this bed so far. It is doing exactly what I want to do. I just need to plant my pumpkins in here. Hi. No help. I think we've got good enough germination across the rest. The Peaches and Cream did pretty good. There's a little tiny patch right there, but I'm not going to worry about that. All right, let's get our pumpkins in, and then this bed will be ready to go. Let's see. I was going to put 4 in here, and these are the baby bear, so they won't get, I mean, they're going to get big, but they're not going to get massive. Let's see. Well, let's put one here. And actually, I put 2 seeds in each of these and every single one of them germinated. But I'm not going to try and separate them. All right, Three Sisters bed. Yay. All right, well, I got all the pumpkins planted and then I got too hot. So it's not cooler, actually, it's hotter now than it was, but the sun is going down, so it's just not as intense as it is when it's like up in the middle of the sky. So it is time now to get these things into bags. I do have to decide if I want to fill up some of the more bags first. How about I plant first and then see what is left and then make a decision if I need more bags or not. Let's do that. So I think what I'm going to do is just pick up flowers and start putting them in pots. And I had a plan, like my garden plan has it all laid out what's supposed to go where, but at this point I don't care. I just want them in the ground. All right, what are these? These are straw flowers. Okay. Swiss Giant, Silver Rose, and Copper Red. Great. So a couple of these I have already added compost to, these first couple. So I'm not going to add anything to them. They are pretty dry though, my goodness. Okay, and then I'm just going to put some blood meal and a little bit of just all-purpose fertilizer in these, and then just plant. These are straw flowers, which is one of my favorites. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do. Put the water back in. Et voila. Actually, I'm going to put it through the, there we go. We're just going to go down. Let me show you one of the ones that I'm going to add compost to, and then I'm just going to get busy. All right, so this is some beautiful echinacea that overwintered along with a bunch of weeds. Obviously, I'm not going to take these out. So, oh, there's actually 3 of them in here. Cool. But I am going to go ahead and give it a bit of compost. And I will do that with all of the pots that overwintered. I have a couple of them. And then this one here, I just have just some native soil. It's the stuff that I actually dug out from, which has gotten really dry, from where I put the fountain. And I just filled up a couple of bags with that stuff. So, but it is not the greatest soil to just plant directly into. As you can see, it becomes a piece of cement when it gets dry. It's crazy. Nice thing about it is that once it has water, it holds it for a long time, but those will break down. I'm not too concerned about that. But these, I'm going to add a decent amount of compost to. And then these are my status, which are already blooming. And they are horribly root bound. So they should be very happy to get planted. All right. Well, that made a big dent. I still have a lot here that I don't know where I'm gonna put, but it's okay. All right, these guys need water really bad. I'm going to try and condense a bit here. This big pile, I need to go through and pull out all the garbage, and I'm going to use the cardboard. So actually, I might do that right now. That's garbage too. Let me finish putting a couple things away, and then we are going to do that. All right, I don't feel like this will take all that too terribly long. Famous last words. So, first of all, this has got bags in it. Yay. Okay. That makes me feel much better, and it's not even all that heavy because it's mostly plastic bags from all the dirt. I also have to clean out my seed room because we have our handyman coming to put a ceiling in my seed room, and come look. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a complete mess. But yeah, well, you know what? Actually, this is all garbage, so that's an easy one. That's an easy one. Ta-da! And actually, this stuff I need to return. And I think this is pretty much all garbage as well. Come to think of it. Oh, actually, I don't know what I just threw in there. Oh, just rocks. All okay. All right, another cardboard box. Oh, let me just throw it right on top of all my seedlings. Okay. Well, that's a little bit better. And everything in here. All right, I am going to leave this out here since it's not full. And I definitely have more stuff I can put in it, but that actually makes me feel a little bit better about this disaster. All right, I do want to take you really quick before we completely lose the light and show you all of the bags and what we planted. But first, take a look at the beautiful sunset. All right, let's start down here all the way at the end, even though we already talked about some of these. So these three guys are cilantro, which are starting to come along. This is the African daisy and a bachelor's button. I don't know why I did that. These are, what are these? Not Newburgh onions. They are straw flowers, little itty bitty straw flowers, one of which has already died. So not sure if these are gonna make it, but I guess we'll see. These are some zinnia. And then this is where we started today. These are more straw flowers. I have, let's see, copper red, Swiss giant, and silvery rose in here. These are some gomphrena, just a mix of purple and white. These are some Lisianthus, which I'm pretty excited about. I have some in the hoop house as well, but I started these from seed way back in January. And yeah, they have taken forever to get this size, but they look very healthy now. This guy was one of my winter overs, and it is Anise hyssop, and we'll probably be getting some blooms here from it soon. It's looking wonderful. And the echinacea wintered over. We've got some status here, some pink and some purple, it's not blue. Some Crispidia, not sure if that is going to do much at all, but they're the yellow little bonbon flowers. And then some very sad looking baby's breath. And then these are both carnations. One of them is the grenadine white, and the other is the Etinsolent. I don't know why I can never say that. Sadly, I had gotten some, what are these called? Clematis from Costco, and I just didn't plant them soon enough. This one looks like it might survive, so we'll see. I did get these all wet, so maybe they'll come back, but I'm not feeling super hopeful. This guy is some more straw flowers. These are cranberry rose. And this was the other clematis that has like one teeny tiny little alive looking thing. So again, maybe it'll survive. These are my baby's breath that wintered over. And we should be getting blooms on these very soon, which is exciting. More echinacea, some zinnias. These are feverfew and a random baby's breath that was planted next to them, so I put it in here. Then down here, more straw flowers, I believe. Apricot straw flowers. And these are some celosia that are looking kind of peaked, but we shall see. My yarrow, one of my yarrows that wintered over. This is some more baby's breath. And there's also a bunch of petunias in here that had self-seeded that I've just left and let them do their thing. Some more carnations and petunias that self-seeded in there. And my other yarrow that self-seeded out here. One of the fun things, actually, let's go back over here, is these little guys right here and right here and right here, I believe are feverfew. And this is the pot I had my feverfew in last year. It is supposed to winter over. It's supposed to be perennial here. I think it's down to zone 3 or 4, maybe it's 4. I think it's 3. And mine didn't for some reason. I'm not really sure why. But they also should self-seed really easily. And I had left them to do that. But nothing was coming up. Nothing. And then suddenly this pot and actually the one next to it. these guys right here, I'm pretty sure are all feverfew. So I'm gonna let them grow. Petunia, you wanna come in here? Come on, kitty kitty. Come get some dinner. Night, girlies. No nights. There you go, Bubba. Yeah, you need to back up. You need to back up. Yeah. No treats tonight. No treats tonight.